Absolutely.
Charlie Weaver, right? Shadow Steve. I don't remember the Shadow Stevens ones, though. Shadow with an E, by the way, not a W.
Shadow with an E, that's right.
You've never seen genuine anger. You've seen DJ at 1 a.m. at a VRBO on the road, and he's watching a game show from '83, and he's mad about what they're bidding on a can of Campbell's soup from '83. It's a sport in itself. We have to get that on Flow, actually.
That's how you can tell Ben and I have spent way too much time together on
Consolation prize is Rice-A-Roni.
Boy, that's a great segue.
Treat.
Hey, let's go ahead and look at the starting lineup here, fellas. It's going to be Dresden, Ohio's Devin Moran starting on the pole in the 99, and on his outside out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, the 58 of Garrett Alberson.
Can Jonathan Davenport win the Showcase Showdown tonight? He's out of Blairsville, Georgia at 49, and Ricky Thorne Jr., he'd be good on Plinko. He's out of Chandler, Arizona, the 20 RT.
Brandon Shepard, come on down. You're inside row number 3. He's out of New Berlin, Illinois in the Rocket 1. And on his outside, out of Carpentersville, Illinois, the center square is Dennis Erb Jr.
Bobby Pierce, he's got 21 wins this year. He's out of Oakwood, Illinois in 32. And on the outside of him is the 71 out of Martinsville, Indiana. That is Hudson O'Neill.
Look at row 5, James. Big bucks, no whammies. The 22 star out of Heinemann, Pennsylvania is Drake Troutman. And on his outside out of Evans, Georgia in the 76 is Brandon Overton.
Well, match game 76 will be Blair Nodorf. He's out of Renner, South Dakota. And Carson Ferguson, the 93. He's out of Lincoln, North Carolina. You didn't see that one coming, did you?
I did not. Row 7 on the inside out of Fayetteville, North Carolina in the 18D. It's going to be the big perm Dalton Wilson. And on his outside, I bet that guy's a card shark out of New Waverly, Texas. In the number 1, it is Tyler Erb.
And in your next row, that's going to be Ethan Dotson. He's in the 74X out of Bakersfield, California. And Corey Lawler drives the blue and white 93. He's out of Hanover, Pennsylvania.
Row number 9 on the inside out of Dawsonville, Georgia. It's going to be the 79 of Donald McIntosh, and he'll be flanked by the Lakeshore, Minnesota driver. In the 60, Circle gets the square. It's Dan Ebert.
Dan Ebert is in 60. Clay Harris is in 6. Right? He's out of Jupiter, Florida. Home of Burt Reynolds. 3S is Brian Shirley. He's out of Chatham, Illinois.
Row number 11 on the inside out of Date City, Florida. The 17 double S is Brendan Smith. And on his outside, looking to make the sale of the century. You remember that one, right? In the 22, it is Daniel Hilsebeck.
Spencer Hughes. He's in the 19M out of Brandon, Mississippi, taking in Lucas Oil Provisional. And your fast time provisional, as predicted by us announcers, is Jesse Sopping. He's out of Malvern, Iowa. That is now official.
You know what they just had at Eldora? The Joker's Wild.
They did.
I mean, how many more 80s game shows can we get? What on earth does that say? Van Zant? What is that? XYZ Gossip Girl. What is?
I feel like the acronyms here are a game in themselves as well.
I thought it was an optometrist here. We had a...
What is that? V.A. Van Zant? What is it?
No, it's not Skinnerd.
Hey, 50-50, by the way. If you bought a 50-50 ticket, get the winning ticket out. $1,250 is the winner's share. And if you have that, take it to one of the 50-50 selling stations. It is a blue ticket. It is a blue ticket good for $1,250. And
color does matter tonight.
The color, it's a blue ticket. We'll put it on the video board on the back straightaway, and that winning number is 023714. 023714. If you got it, come and get it. Ben Shelton, who is your pick to win here tonight?
I think it's Garrett Alberson. Outside front row, I think Garrett's going to get his second win of the year with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series, the third of his career. And when he gets to Lucas Oil Victory Lane, we're going to find out what that acronym means on the turn 1 and 2 wall.
All right, very good. Are we going to be on camera, James? I got a cord in front of me. I got all kinds of things going on here. Michael might join us on camera. I have no idea. We're a hot mess up here.
Charles Nelson Riley for the win.
Him and Brett Summers. What Ben took Garrett Alberson on the outside front row. Who you got?
Well, Brandon Shepard started 61 at the Diamond National ride. He starts 5th tonight. He's going to win tonight.
All right, there we are, by the way.
Simple as that. Hello there.
Oh, wow. That's simple, huh? That's simple.
As that, right?
It's as simple as this. I'm staying in my home state of Ohio. I think he goes back-to-back. Devin Moran, the defending Silver Dollar Nationals champion, gets it done here tonight, much like Bobby Pierce did a year ago. By the way, this shirt, you can get it at the Mark of Valor souvenir trailer with the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series. Pick one of those up. They got a lot of good-looking merchandise.
Is that candy apple red?
It is candy apple red, as Bob Milner would have said. Yes.
There you go.
All right.
Good times, hey.
We're going to see who's going to press their luck and get the win in this one. Ben.
Hey guys, we touched on it last night. I want to touch on it again. You see the 35 on the Speedway from Combat Rush and Nathan Barker. They help wounded warriors and disabled veterans recover and along their path. They put somebody different in that car every night. You can go to combatrush.org, combatrush.org. You can donate on there. You can sign somebody up. It's something very cool they do for the men and women of our armed forces and the different battles that they battle after they get home, and nothing but respect for them. Check it out, combatrush.org.
You know, the men and women who protect the greatest country in the world, the United States of America, for what everyone does, and also all of our first responders. We're ready to go. 40 laps, 10,000 to win. Nutrient Axe Solutions start zone. Who's going to be on the Lucas Oil Big River Steel podium tonight? It's Moran and Alberson. We are underway.
And you ride along with Jonathan Davenport into turn number 1. Holy cow, he gets a run down to the inside. Oh, man, that's so much fun. JD trying to get the lead from 3rd to 1st at the end of lap number 1. He's got it.
He's got it. He started in 3rd. Moran up top. Moran started in 4th last night, took the lead on lap 5, led the rest of the way. Thorne fires it in there into turn 3. Alberson 4th. Shepard is 5th. Down the main straightaway, Jonathan Davenport looking for his 89th career win in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series out in front here at Huset.
He stretched out a couple car lengths over Devin Moran and Ricky Thornton Jr. Alberson runs 4th, and Shep right now rounding out the top 5. You got to go back to about the 8th or 9th position before you find a couple drivers trying to pound the outside of this racetrack, and that's the 76 of Brandon Overton, the 1 of Tyler Erb at the front of the field. Superman with a 1.1 second advantage, 4 laps in.
In full points last night, tonight, and tomorrow night, all 3 separate shows. Jonathan Davenport trying to retake the points lead. He led before last night. We got a cut off. Dan Ebert got up against the wall. We stayed green down the back straightaway. So we started 24 cars around this 3rd mile oval, and Jonathan Davenport looking good right now, DJ.
And Jonathan Davenport quickly closing in on Ebert as well. Davenport might be playing let's make a deal with the back of the field and work his way around those drivers. Again, a 1.8 second advantage for the Blairsville, Georgia native. You're looking back on the battle for 8th position as Drake Troutman going to take it away from Bobby Pierce, and Brandon Overton trying to do the same. That is 8th, 9th, and 10th on your screen. 7 laps in the books.
Pick up the tail in the field. Danny Bird into turn 1. About a half a straightaway behind is Devin Moran. And not much reaction time here. You got to be up on the wheel all the time. Davenport's going to have to go to the outside to get around Dan Ebert down the main straightaway, and he can't do it. Here comes Moran, Thornton, Alberson, and Brandon Shepard. Meanwhile, Davenport still bogged down at the back of the field.
Yeah, Jonathan Davenport's lead, though, is 2.5 seconds. That's the good news for the driver that comes into the event second in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series point standings. The bad news, though, he's on the bottom of the racetrack, and so is practically every race car in front of him. So we'll see if Devin Moran or Ricky Thornton Jr. are able to cut into Superman's lead. Superman now going to go top shelf down in turns 1 and 2, and he almost stuffed it in the wall.
He couldn't get off that cushion up there, and that cost him some time. It was 2.6. It's probably going to be less than a second right now. It's 1 second exactly. He got up there in that loose and got against the wall. And meanwhile, he's still in traffic, and we got a car off the pace on the main straightaway. That is Jesse Sobbing. He calls it a 9 to the 18.
Right now, everyone around the bottom of this racetrack, simply put, that's where the moisture is. here as sprinkles rain off and on all day throughout the day today here at the Huset Speedway. And Jonathan Davenport has got the 60 of Dan Ebert in front of him, and right now the 49 seems content to stay there. Just behind him, the 58 of Garrett Alverson gets a run on the outside, trying to work around the 20 RT of Ricky Thornton Jr. He'll tuck back down to the bottom.
Yeah, he thought about it there. He's going to try now. He's going to dip down low as Davenport still contending with Ebert back here in the back. So 23 of the 24 starters left running. Saubing will finish 24th tonight. Davenport on the main straightaway stretched back out to a half a straightaway lead. It's 1.8 seconds out at turn number 2. Traffic behind the 22 of Huset.
It's just all right around the bottom right now, James. It's just that's where the groove is, and again with the mist in the air today and the little bit of rain that they had, we saw Davenport get up high on the racetrack, and quite candidly, I don't think anybody else is going to go up there here for at least a few laps. Brian Shirley trying to tiptoe around the top near the back of the field. But again, we saw what happened to Davenport a few laps ago, and I got to think some of these guys are just a little bit leery about getting too far out of that bottom groove.
Yeah, they had it in Lawler. He gets around Lawler. He had Lawler and Huset running side by side in front of him. 19 complete. 1 lap shy of the Hellraiser Jack's halfway mark. That'll be worth $100 to Superman. And right now, 2 lap cars between first and second, and Moran trying to force the issue on Lawler in traffic.
Yeah, and he's going to do that. He's going to work his way around in front of him. In front of Moran is going to be the 60 of Ebert. In front of your leader Davenport is the 22 of Huset. Now, if Davenport's able to work by the 22 of Huset, he's going to have a couple laps of clean air in front of him. But Huset in the bottom line, as is everyone else. You can't blame the 22 for not getting out of line. As they say in the drivers' meeting, it's the lap cars are to hold their line. Leaders trying to find a way around, and that's what Jonathan Davenport will do as he disposes of the Earlham, Iowa driver.
Ethan Dodson calls it a race. Meanwhile, plenty of clear racetrack ahead of your leader off of turn 4. Down the main straightaway, green so far. We have 18 laps remaining. Moran 1.7 behind. Then it's Thornton, Alverson, Shepard, Dennis Erb Jr., Hudson O'Neill, Pierce, Troutman, Brandon Overton 10th.
Towards the back of the field, James, you got 1, 2, 3 drivers kind of widening this track out, especially down in turns 1 and 2. I see Drake Troutman running high, and just as I say that, he goes back low. Dalton Wilson up high is 1 and 2. Brian Shirley's up there, 1 and 2 widening out a little bit. 3 and 4, not so much right now. Everyone stays tucked on the bottom, 15 laps to go.
Oh, man, turn 2. Thornton thought he had an opening there on Moran. Devin shut the door. 26 complete this time around. Moran, Thornton, Alverson, Shepard completing the top 5 right now, and Davenport continues to have a little bit of open space as he'll pull in behind the 17 SS of Brandon Smith, who runs 19.
Yeah, Jonathan Davenport 2.7 seconds the advantage. So after slipping high down in turns 1 and 2 early in the going in this one, Jonathan Davenport has stretched out to nearly a full straightaway lead and 2 lap cars between himself over the 99 to Devin Moran. I tell you what, James, let's jump on board with Devin Moran. Hey, look at the mud. That's just on our camera. Imagine the tear-offs that JD has gone through to get the mud off his race car.
He's got a big lead, 3.5 seconds. He goes into turn 1. Moran's just exiting turn 4 behind the 17 SS of Brandon Smith. So right now, 11 laps to go. If this thing stays green, I don't know if they're going to have a shot or not, because Davenport's already at the flag stand. Moran, here comes O'Neill trying to go to the top of Erb, trying to make it work as Brian Shirley slides in. He almost didn't make the exit, but he does, and he stays green. Wow.
Stay green flag racing now, less than 10 laps to go. Make it 9 laps to go in this one. Davenport 3.2 seconds the advantage. Still 2 lap cars between himself and the 99 and Devin Moran, as they're all right around the bottom here tonight at Huset Speedway, James.
So out of the race, Saubing, Dodson, Shirley. So right now, Brandon Smith, the final car in lead, so 18 cars still on the lead lap, and Davenport still right behind him, but he's got a big lead right now as we have 7 laps to go.
And you can just see that's where the grip is at the bottom of the racetrack here tonight, you know, and quite honestly, nobody ever bat 1,000. Sometimes you got nights like this. Carson Ferguson with a big puff of smoke in the 93 going into turn number 3. We'll see if he makes it to the end. Just 6 laps to go in this one.
He's 8th.
Yeah, and no, I don't think he's going to. That might draw the Coltman Farms Racing caution, and it does with 6 laps remaining. Man, what a tough break for the driver out of Lincolnton, North Carolina. So that is the first Coleman Farms Racing caution flag of this feature, with 34 scored and 6 laps to go.
As he hits the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit, but hopefully it's just an oil line, Ben Shelton, as he makes his way, and he's not going to get to the janitor's crew. I believe the car is still running.
It's still running, it looks like, yeah.
Yeah, I got to wonder maybe if it's an oil line, if they're running hot. You can definitely smell it down here getting extremely hot, but he did not trail oil up as he came into the Heartbeat Hot Sauce Hot Pit, but obviously something awry. And it is a very hot race car down for the driver out of Lincolnton, North Carolina. It's been a tough past month for that driver, and he is going to be out of the party as they pull off the hood of the number 93.
You know, and again, we saw the mud on Jonathan Davenport's the in-car camera there, and again, we can simply see the groove that they've dug into the bottom of the racetrack as well, and it makes you wonder who else might be running hot with 6 to go in this one.
And he was running in 8th, as I mentioned, Ben.
Yeah, you got to wonder about an oil line. There's oil everywhere. Carson, what happened to take you out of the race?
I don't know, just started spraying oil everywhere. The gauges look fine. I mean, old temp it's not sky high, so I don't really know if a fitting got broke or something like that. So we'll have to get back and diagnose it.
All right, they're going to get back to hopefully they shut it down early enough. Carson Ferguson out of the race.
Scott Figner and the crew down there looking at the 93. Carson climbing out of the race car. Ben, thank you.
We're going to do Delaware double file. 6 to go. If we'd got to lap 35, it would have been single file, so this will be interesting.
Yes, it will. Yes, so I'm telling you, the last 5-6 laps, there were 4, 5, 6 guys kind of cleaning off that top side. You just wonder, though, how much of a groove has been kind of burned into the bottom of the racetrack. 6 laps to go, and that got hairy.
Whoa. Well, it's not locked down or anything, but it is low on the bottom out at 2. Thorne's going to grab the second spot. Here comes Shepard in 1. Will you go to the top? Here comes O'Neal to the top. Shepard let it go. Brandon Shepard may have something to the outside, but he's got 5 laps to get to the front. As he comes out of turn 2, Dustin down the back straightaway. Here comes B-Shep.
Maybe a Delaware double file restart was all we needed. Shep going to the high side. He'll take second this time by at the stripe. May not be done yet. Brandon Shepard trying to make a late race rally in this one. James, he's got a run on the 49. Oh my!
Here comes Brandon Shepard. He is closing. It was 0.6 of a second last time around. He's got a run on JD. We've still got 3 to go. Davenport has got to get off the bottom. He does. Shepard's going to think about the crossover. He keeps it to the top. Down the main straightaway. He hits the berm right in front of Shepard. They're right nose to tail in the 1. 2 to go, Dustin. But Shepard gets it wound back up.
Shep's got to be thinking about a slide or one of these laps, doesn't he? The problem is they burned so much of a groove into the bottom of the racetrack. It's got a cushion on the bottom. White flags out.
Oh.
Barrett's performance 1 to go. What does Shep do, James?
He's going to go down the back straightaway. Here comes Thorne. Here comes Marine. This is it for Shepard. Shepard to the outside. Will there be room off at turn 4? No. Wow. Wow.
Well,
he gave it a run.
Yes, he did. The last 5 laps of that one turned out to be pretty darn good. Unofficially, Davenport, Shep, Thornton, Moran, O'Neal, your top 5. Alperson, Deniser, Perm, Drake Troutman, and Brandon Overton. It's not even 8:30 p.m. local time.
Well, it wasn't locked down to rubber it up, but I mean, there was one. Shepard, what did he restart? 3rd?
Yeah.
Nah, yeah. Because Thornton and Moran started, so he restarted, what, 4th?
Well, I
don't know, but it was a good last 5 laps.
I know an app. He restarted 5th. He restarted 5th, Brandon Shepard did, according to the My Race Pass app.
So Brendan Smith, unofficially, the Hoker Trucking hard charger, Ben Shelton. Well, that was pretty sporty 5 laps there.
Yeah, I thought it was funny. Mark Richards came by me and he said Thornton took the bottom on the restart, and I said we might win this thing. So man, I tell you what, that was exciting. But JD right there, he made a few mistakes, but that great race car drivers find a way, and he found a way. And we're going to bring him to Lucas Oil Victory Lane, a VLAN feature winner, guys, with the series for the 6th time this year, 2nd on the all-time win list, 89 wins, behind only the late Scott Bloomquist. And his 11th win overall. His first win since back at the Firecracker 100. And guys, that was his first Firecracker 100. He's won the Silver Dollar Nationals twice, but he hasn't won it since it's been to Huset's. He had not won at Huset's before tonight. That is no longer true. Coming to Lucas Oil Victory Lane, Superman Jonathan Davenport. Clements Power under the hood, number 49 here tonight. And that steering wheel is probably going to be bent a little bit because he had to have 3 handfuls of that one late in the race as he had his hands full, but he gets the job done. And with that finish, it's going to be, I think he will take the point lead back from Thornton unofficially. The Midwest Sheet Metal point leader. We'll get the numbers on that. We'll talk to your Big River Steel top 3 down here as we wait on Jonathan Davenport to climb out of car 49. $10,000 here tonight. The Silver Dollar Nationals Prelim 2 presented by My Race Pass. And it was an exciting one, as JD just has not had much luck at Huset's. He changes that all here tonight. Grabs a Sunoco checkered flag and prepares to climb out of this race car. Again, picking up his 11th win overall on the year, going after his 4th Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series title, and it's been a good battle so far. And tonight are big nights for a driver when they haven't had much luck at a racetrack, but they get the win. He's taking a second to catch his breath down here. They're bringing the victory lane around, and I believe that is the holdup. As Thornton, yeah, he got 3rd at the line. They may actually be tied after tonight, guys. We'll have to get the final rundown on that, but
wow.
The victory lane, the only thing that took a while to happen to get the victory lane banner here, James.
That's what they're waiting on, yep, the victory lane backdrop.
There we go. A Veland feature winner out of the race car out of Blairsville, Georgia. Superman Jonathan Davenport, your winner tonight. Steering wheel in hand, confetti flies. They're going to go over here and try to put victory lane back together. Is whatever on the ground. Jonathan, and look at the right side of the race car. Well, about 12 laps in, you had grief over here in turn number 2. So that's my first question. Did you thought you'd given away right out of the bat?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, I'm not one to sugarcoat anything, but that was about a snoozer there until Brandon got up on the wheel there, and I didn't really know where to go. Corey was pointing me up, but I wasn't for sure if it was down there or down there, so I was really just trying to block there. It got pretty rough around the bottom, but anyway, we was just good enough to hang on. So I guess I did that whenever I got up into the wall there. And yeah, I was just trying to pass a lap car, and at that time it was just too dirty to go up there. So I just got back down in line and started riding some more.
You know, Fairbury's next week, but back in May, the Lucas Oil race at Fairbury, you and that guy in that one car had a very similar battle. When you know Brandon Shepherd's coming to life on that top side, but the bottom's been so good, how hard is it to decide where to be?
Yeah, I mean, it is really tough. I mean, we just ran, you know, pretty much 38 laps down there before I started moving around, and I never did really move up there. But I know that these guys like Brandon and Ricky and Devin, they're going to try to move around. They ain't just going to ride in line, you know, after that caution come out. So I knew I was going to try to make it as wide as I could. So, yeah, congratulations to them. I accidentally stuck him in the fence last night. I didn't know he was on my outside, but I know Brandon's going to run me clean. And that's just one thing about this place being so narrow that I'll have to go back and watch the video, but I'm sure he got a couple runs on me. But as I was going back to the bottom, there just ain't enough room to slide somebody. So if we could get them to widen this place out, take that berm down even more, this place would race awesome. I really think so. But until they do that, I don't think it's going to be, you know, the spectacular race that everybody wants to see. But maybe it will. But just I got to say happy birthday to Corey, my crew chief. Him and his family's here, so that's awesome. Happy birthday to him. And thanks to Nutrient Ag Solutions, ASC Warranty, Dino Growth Seed, Bill Stein, Longhorn. Thanks to Lance and Darla Landers. I know y'all are watching back home. Thank you for this opportunity. Kevco Drive Shafts are here. I haven't never mentioned them in my interviews, but they've always done a lot for me. All my product sponsors, can't thank them enough. Thanks for all these fans coming out. Y'all need to call everybody in your contacts, because there's still plenty of room out there to have some more fans in here. So let's try to pack this place for 75,000 to win.
For the first time in his career, Jonathan Davenport wins at Huset Speedway. $10,000 he picks up. Meanwhile, coming home in second tonight, talking to the winning crew chief, Corey Fosfett, Brandon Shepherd. Sheppy, Mark Richards told me down here while you were at the scales, he said when Thornton picked the bottom on the restart and we were outside, back in 5th on the outside row, I knew we might have a chance. What goes through your mind with 6 to go and you got the outside groove when nobody else has been up there?
At that point, you don't know what's going to happen. It seems at that point, from my view, it's been one lane in the bottom the whole race. I knew at some point it was going to move up. It actually got a few ruts in it, and I think that kept the bottom wet enough to where we stayed going fast down there. And while we were racing, it was just blowing so much crumbs up top that we never had a caution early enough to be able to lay it down and really get it packed in and let other people run up there that were forced to by starting on the outside. So forcing me to the outside made me pack the top end. Me and Ricky were both packing it in, on the pace laps there. And then when we went green, at that point you don't have anything to lose. You send it in there, and I felt really good, and I knew there was only 6 laps left, so I just held her to the mat for 6 laps, and we came up just a little bit short. JD, he always runs me clean. He did a good job there. He did what he had to do. He knew he was having to move up, but he was entering in the bottom, and then off the corner it would just mess my momentum up just enough on the straightaway to where I couldn't get a good enough run. And truthfully, after a few laps there, once the big stuff got thrown up into the cushion, I felt like I slowed down just a little bit on the top. And like I said, I was wide open too, so I'm sure my tires were getting hot. But we had a really good car all night again tonight. I messed the heat race up. I wish we could have started up front. Definitely had a car to win there. Just matter of for some reason I can't win a dang heat race, so we got to work on that. But my car's really good tonight. The boys went to work last night and really came out of the box with a lot better piece tonight. So hats off to Mark and Dan, Austin, and Joel, and all the great sponsors on this thing. And we'll see if we can get them tomorrow.
Brandon Shepherd, he comes home in position number 2 on the Big River Steel podium. Rounding out your Big River Steel podium tonight, Ricky Thornton Jr. Well, Ricky's second last night, third tonight, and you had some thoughts. You wish you could do some stuff different last night. What about tonight?
I don't know. I feel like that was about as good as we were going to be. We changed tires right before we rolled, and then I think we made the right decision because that's what all 3 of us got on. But I don't know. Starting on the top kind of hurt us there. Obviously, the bottom was a place to be the first half. I thought JD fired on that restart, so I fired with him, and then I ran into him and killed the nose, so then I was a little too tight after that. But I don't know. Overall, still a good night. Obviously, it sucks to give up points to JD come playoff time, but hopefully we can get a win tomorrow. I think everyone, Kohler Motorsports, Bill Stein Shocks, Longhorn Chassis, Coleman Farms, Knights Companies, MD Wraps, Certified Inspection Service, D&E Outside Services, High Performance Lubricants, FK Rod-Ins, Mike with Dynamic Drivelines here. I think he said he was closing his eyes half the race there, but no, just a really good night for us. Sunoco Race Fuels, Chris at Midwest Sheet Metal, hope you're feeling better, bud. Ultimate Towing, Capital Waste, Elite Ready Mix, obviously all the fans for coming out, and hopefully we get a good show tomorrow.
Ricky Thornton Jr. Race Fans comes home in position 3 here this evening. DJ James, back up to you for the recap.
Well, we didn't have Farmer City type drama here tonight.
But there's always tomorrow night.
Oh my!
Just think if we'd had a couple cautions earlier in this thing. Who knows, right? But those last 5 or 6 laps were pretty good. Hey.
We saw a barn burner here last night. You just never know what to expect at Huset. Still one more race to go, but before we get to that, let's go ahead and take a look at your race recap, James, with Jonathan Davenport leading all 40 here in this one. As you see him, Brandon Shepherd and Ricky Thornton Jr. making their way up.
So do we have a points update?
Not yet.
Not yet.
It should be close. Remember, RT got 10 bonus points for fast time in the group, right? So
10 points difference with JD still leading in tomorrow night.
That's
right there, a little stumble in turn 2. He got off that cushion up there. This is just a great shot. But he did what he had to do, as Brandon Shepherd said. You do what you have to do on this tight. It's a bull ring, right?
It is.
Brian Shirley there barely made it in the pits. Almost had our first caution here. Man, heartbreak for Carson Ferguson, the Paler Motorsports, running in the 8th spot out of the race.
Yeah, that happened with 6 laps to go, and that Delaware double file restart set up this wild finish that had Jonathan Davenport barely holding off Brandon Shepherd, Ricky Thornton Jr., and Devin Moran here tonight. And very, very unofficially, Davenport will have a 10-point lead over RT heading into tomorrow night. Of course, a complete racing program tomorrow night. for the $75,000 to win Silver Dollar Nationals. Ben Shelton, your final thoughts before we head into tomorrow night's finale in the 15th running of the Silver Dollar Nats presented by My Race Pass.
Well, I think the hardest working guys in the pit area are the ones changing the Speedway sheet metal orange spoiler back and forth at night after night. And I tell you what, that's really cool. It's what the sport's all about. And yeah, Sheffy got it rolling late. And I think the big key is that bottom just didn't give up as fast as they thought it would, but that restart late showed how good it would be. And hey, we're going to go twice as far tomorrow night. I got faith, guys. I think we're going to have a burner here tomorrow night. Kerr has the Davenport on his win here tonight.
Absolutely. 80 laps will be the distance tomorrow night. And James, we've still got one more race left here this evening.
Was that JD coming up to the fence to give some hats to the kids there? Somebody, yeah, somebody did. Somebody did. Corey Vosfed, congratulations. His crew chief, Tyler Bragg, Cole Perrine, and they get it done. 89 career wins now. That'll put him just 5 behind the late, great Scott Bloomquist.
Well, how about that? I see Scott McAllister down there taking the Flow Racing in-car camera off of